Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Going to be giving you my predictions for Manchester United's game against Wolves at Old Trafford. So score prediction, I'm going to go with 2-0 to Manchester United. And the goal scorers, I'm going to go with Cristiano Ronaldo and Mason Greenwood. So that is your predictions. Probably tomorrow I'll be giving you my predicted 11 for this game. Manchester United are missing some players. Eric Bailly come off injured in the 3-1 win against Burnley. I was actually shocked that Bailly started against Burnley. I thought Rangnick would have started Varane over Bailly. Lindelof, he's not available at the moment because he's got COVID. Pogba's still out with a muscle injury, but Pogba is close to returning, which is good news from a Man United perspective because Pogba's been a big miss. And Martial is out with injury, but he doesn't really get in the team anyway. Wolves, they've had their last 2 games postponed due to COVID. Not so long ago, Wolves were supposed to play Arsenal and they were supposed to play Watford. Wolves are sitting 8th in the Premier League. Wolves' manager is Bruno Lage. He's been Wolves manager for around 6 months now. Bruno Lage got appointed in back in June. Bruno Lage's got a contract with Wolves until 2024. Before Wolves, he managed Benfica. Before Bruno Lage, Wolves had Nuno Espirito Santo. I thought Wolves were very consistent under Nuno Espirito Santo. Nuno Espirito Santo was Wolves manager for quite a few years. He did leave Wolves at the end of last season, but when Nuno Espirito Santo was the Wolves manager, he got Wolves back-to-back 7th placed finishes in the Premier League, and he got Wolves to the FA Cup semi-final for the first time in 21 years. Earlier on this season, Santo got sacked by Tottenham. He enjoyed a very short tenure at Tottenham. He was only in charge of Tottenham for around 4 months. I do know quite a few of the players that Wolves have got. Wolves have got a pretty good squad. Wolves have got Adama Traore. Manchester United have been linked with him before. Wolves have also got Raul Jimenez. Manchester United were linked with him a while ago. Wolves have also got Daniel Podence. They've also got Trincao. I think Wolves got him last summer. Wolves have also got Pedro Neto. Pedro Neto is out with injury at the moment. Wolves have also got Fabio Silva. He's out with COVID at the moment. Wolves have also got Hwan Hee-chan. He's on loan at Wolves from RB Leipzig. Hwan Hee-chan is out with injury at the moment. Wolves have also got Moutinho, who is a midfielder. They've got Ruben Neves, that's a very good midfielder. Manchester United have been tentatively linked with Ruben Neves. Chelsea are also in for him. Ruben Neves has been at Wolves since 2017. Wolves paid around 15.8 million for him from Porto. Wolves have also got Dendoncker. they've got Johnny. Johnny is out with injury at the moment. They've got Nuri, that's out with injury. Yerson Mosquera, he's out with injury. And Willie Bolly, he's out with injury. So Wolves have got quite a few players injured. Connor Cody is a very good centre-half for Wolves. I remember Connor Cody when he was at Liverpool. He came up Liverpool's academy. I also like Romain Saiz. He's a very good defender for Wolves. Wolves have also got Fernando Markel. They've got Nelson Semedo. They've got Nelson Semedo from Barcelona. They got However as well. They got him from Liverpool. So there you go. I do know a couple of the goalkeepers that Wolves have got. Obviously they've got a goalkeeper called John Ruddy. They've also got one called Jose Sarr. Back in 2020, Wolves let Diego Jota go. He went to Liverpool. From Wolves. Wolves losing Diego Jota was a bad blow. And Wolves also lost Matt Doherty to Tottenham. Manchester United are coming into this game on the back of a 3-1 win against Burnley. It was a good performance against Burnley, especially in the first half. Rangnick was pleased with the first half performance against Burnley. It was a far superior performance against Burnley than what we saw against Newcastle last Monday night. Reflecting on the win against Burnley, that put Manchester United up to 6th in the Premier League. The goals against Burnley came from Scott McTominay. It was a good composed finish from McTominay at the edge of the box. That was McTominay's first goal since February, and McTominay has now scored 15 goals for Manchester United. McTominay could have had more than one goal against Burnley because he had a chance when he hit the woodwork, and he also had a chance in the second half that produced a fingertip save from Wayne Hennessy. You know, McTominay was man of the match against Burnley. The second goal was an own goal by Ben Mee. Sancho struck it but got deflected off Ben Mee. In the build-up to that goal, Lawton and McNeil got caught in a mix-up, so Burnley were poor defensively for Man United's second goal. And Man United's third goal came from Cristiano Ronaldo. It was a tap-in, but was Ronaldo offside? Ronaldo should have had more than one goal. That's why he was frustrated, because Ronaldo had a chance in the first 5 minutes when he was one-on-one with Wayne Hennessy, put it over the bar, and he had numerous opportunities. But reflecting on the goal anyway, Ronaldo's now got 14 goals in all competitions since he re-signed, and he's got 803 goals in his career. Prior to the game, it did say that Ronaldo has major concerns over Ralph Rangnick's methods at Manchester United. Burnley's goal came from Aaron Lennon. To be fair to Aaron Lennon, he had a good game. I think Bailly was the culprit for Aaron Lennon's goal with that clumsy touch. But I think Maguire was partly to blame as well, because he backed off Aaron Lennon and gave him too much space to run into. you've got to say that Ralph Rangnick has enjoyed a good start to his managerial career at Manchester United. You know, so far Rangnick is unbeaten. Rangnick's managed 6 games in all competitions so far, winning 4 and drawing 2. So he is unbeaten so far. Rangnick's been Manchester United's interim manager for around a month. Earlier on this week, there was reports saying that Rangnick's already losing the dressing room at Man United. And he said the mood at Man United was very low, as it did mention that the squad struggle with Rangnick's training change. So Rangnick is Manchester United's interim manager until the end of the season. Then it did mention after that Rangnick will continue in a consultancy role for a further 2 years. But there again, Rangnick's been warned he could lose the consultancy role if he fails to get Manchester United into the Champions League. Rangnick must be backed in the January transfer window. Rangnick has been given around £75 million to spend. There's a lot of players that Manchester United are linked with. Now obviously recently there's been a lot of rumours about Julian Alvarez from River Plate. Manchester United have made contact with the agent of Julian Alvarez, and it said Julian Alvarez to Manchester United is close and Man United are ready to pay the £17 million release clause for Alvarez. So there is a chance that Julian Alvarez will be the first signing of the Ralph Rangnick era. Alvarez's contract at River Plate expires next year. He's been a long-serving player at River Plate. He's mainly a forward, but he can also be deployed as a winger. Only the age of 21, you know, still young, got a lot of development in him. Yesterday I gave you the news on Ousmane Dembele from Barcelona. It did mention that Manchester United have contacted Ousmane Dembele's representatives, and so too of other clubs in the Premier League. It says Dembele is set to leave Barcelona, as Dembele rejected a contract at Barcelona following a furious meeting with club bosses. I don't want Dembele at Manchester United because he's too injury prone. Dembele has been at Barcelona since 2017, so he's been with them for around 5 years now. Barcelona got him in a deal worth £135 million from Borussia Dortmund. Barcelona paid around 96-97 million up front. Of course, the rest was in add-ons. I thought Dembele was far superior at Borussia Dortmund than he has been at Barcelona. Before Ousmane Dembele played at Rennes, Ousmane Dembele is only the age of 24, can be deployed as a forward and a winner. Earlier on this season it did mention that Ralph Rangnick wants Erling Haaland. And Rangnick spoke with Erling Haaland's father, Alf-Hinge Haaland over the possibility of his son signing for Manchester United next year. He said Man United are ready to trigger Erling Haaland's release clause. Well, Haaland's release clause doesn't become active until the summer. Haaland's release clause is around £60 million. Bild said earlier on this season that Man United were currently only the series bidder for Haaland. I'd take Haaland in a heartbeat at United. You know, he's regarded as one of the best strikers in the world because he's a prolific goal scorer, and he has been an absolute revelation for Borussia Dortmund. He's been a Borussia Dortmund player for almost 2 years. Under contract with them till 2024, Borussia Dortmund paid around 17.1 million for him from Red Bull Salzburg. At one point, Haaland played at Molde under Solskjaer. And revert back to when Man United had Solskjaer, Man United tried to get Erling Haaland. Jude Bellingham and Declan Rice have been long-term targets for Manchester United. The other week, The Athletic said that Rangnick identified a tall midfielder as a top priority for Man United to replace Matic. In recent weeks, Manchester United have been linked with Boubacar Kamara from Marseille. It said Boubacar Kamara's contract talks with Marseille have stalled. And earlier on in the season, it allegedly come out and said that Man United agreed terms on a $10 million deal to sign Boubacar Kamara. And he said Boubacar Kamara was set to become the first signing of the Rangnick era. Kamara's predominantly a defensive midfielder, but he can also be deployed as a centre-half. Kamara's only the age of 22, still young, got a lot of development in him. He's been at Marseille all his life. He joined Marseille as a 5-year-old back in 2005, so risen up their academy. He broke into Marseille's senior squad back in 2016. Obviously, Man United have been relentlessly linked with Amadou Haidara from RB Leipzig. Recently, Man United were in for Florian Wirtz from Bayer Leverkusen. In recent weeks, Man United have been linked with Rudiger and Frankie de Jong. There won't be many incomings in January for Man United. I'm probably expecting Man United to make one signing in January. There'll be more outgoings in January than incomings, I can assure that. Well, Romano's already said that Man United's main focus on new signings is the summer, not January. But Ralph Rangnick, since he got recommended in as Man United's interim manager, he's made changes. You know, he's brought 3 additions in because earlier on in the season he recommended Ewan Sharp in as an assistant coach and analyst. And then obviously earlier on in the season he recommended Chris Armisen as an assistant coach. And he also recommended Sash Chalenzin as a sports psychologist. Before Man United, Rangnick was the head of sports and development at Lokomotiv Moscow. As you all know, under Rangnick, Manchester United play the 4-2-2 formation. But revert back to when Man United had Solskjaer, in the vast majority of the games under him, Man United went with that 4-2-3-1 formation. I think a few times Ollie did go with the 4-3-3. In the summer, I can assure that Manchester United will appoint a permanent manager. There's been quite a few names linked with a permanent role at Man United. Obviously, Erik ten Hag's been mentioned a lot. Pochettino's been persistently linked with a permanent role at Man United. Earlier on in the season, Brendan Rodgers was mentioned. I disregarded Brendan Rodgers because earlier on in the season, Brendan Rodgers dismissed links to the Man United job. Rodgers came out and said that I'm proud to be at Leicester, but at one point it did say that Rodgers was house hunting in Cheshire. Earlier on this season as well, Roberto Mancini was mentioned. So there you go. But Man United, like I say, are looking for the 5th permanent manager since Ferguson. Manchester United have sacked 4 permanent managers since Ferguson. Sacked David Moyes, Louis van Gaal, Jose Mourinho, and last month Manchester United sacked Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Following the 4-1 defeat to Watford, Solskjaer was Manchester United manager for almost 3 years. Regardless of who's Manchester United's manager though, no one is going to replicate what Ferguson did, so in that aspect Manchester United have got to accept that. Ferguson's the greatest manager of all time. Ferguson brought success to Manchester United. He won 30 odd trophies including 13 Premier League titles. But Ferguson didn't settle in straight away because he didn't win out in his first 4 years at Man United, so it does take some managers time to settle in. Ferguson was at Manchester United for around 26 years, so reflecting on that, he was a long-serving manager. By the way, I've already wished Ferguson a happy 80th. It is his birthday today. But like I say, next year, players are going to depart the club. You obviously know the news on Anthony Martial. Sevilla want Martial. Not so long ago, it said Manchester United rejected a loan offer from Sevilla for Martial. The other week, though, it said Sevilla reached an agreement in principle to sign Martial. Prior to the Newcastle game, Ralph Rangnick did confirm that Anthony Martial wants to leave Manchester United. Because the other week, Martial held talks with Rangnick over his future. And earlier on this month, Martial's agent did confirm that Martial wants to leave Man United in January. Man United initially set a 30 million asking price on him, but we won't get 30 million for Martial. Martial is demanding more game time. He's getting nowhere near enough game time at Man United. Martial, by the way, has got an injury at the moment. He's no longer good enough to represent the club. He was pretty good last season and he did alright in his debut season under Louis van Gaal. Well, should I say, that was the best season he enjoyed at Man United, was his debut season under Van Gaal. Martial's been a Manchester United player for 7 years. He's got 2.5 years left on his contract. He's scored 79 goals in 268 games in all competitions. Man United paid an initial fee of 36 million for Martial from Monaco back in 2015. Cavani, he's also leaving Manchester United next year. If he doesn't leave next month, he'll leave in the summer. He said earlier on this season that Cavani agreed to join Barcelona on an 18-month contract. Obviously, Barcelona has seen Cavani as a replacement for Aguero because Aguero did retire due to heart problems. Barcelona have just signed Ferran Torres from Man City. Juventus have been in for Cavani, and earlier on this season he rejected a move to Boca Juniors, did Cavani. Man United won't let Cavani leave on a free next month. Cavani's contract at the club expires in the summer. Cavani's just come back from injury not so long ago, by the way. Cavani started up top alongside Ronaldo against Burnley recently. I thought he led the line well, didn't really create much though, Cavani. I do recall him having one chance in the game against Burnley from close range, ended up hitting Wayne Hennessy in the face. I do think Cavani and Ronaldo complement each other very well. They played very well together in the 3-0 win against Tottenham earlier on this season. Cavani obviously rescued a point for Manchester United against Newcastle last Monday night. Came off the bench and scored. It was a fortuitous goal, but it doesn't matter. They all count. Man United got Cavani on a free transfer from PSG back in the summer of 2020. Mata, he'll also leave the club as well next year. Lingard, he'll leave in the summer because the other week it said that Lingard will be staying at Man United in January to fight for his place under Ralph Rangnick. Revert back to when we had Solskjaer, Lingard actually said he wanted to leave Man United. Not so long ago, Man United set a 20 million asking price on Lingard for him to leave next month. Lingard doesn't get in the team, does he? Man United will loan Amad Diallo out next year so he can get more opportunities. He seldom gets in Man United's first team. He's made a few first team appearances, but I expected him to play a hell of a lot more in the first team than he has done. Let's put into the equation what we got Amad Diallo for. We got him for 37 million if you include the add-ons. Disregarding the add-ons, it was 19 million. That's what Man United paid up front. And Donny van der Beek, I think he's leaving next year. Well, Donny van der Beek wants to leave Manchester United. Surprisingly, Van der Beek did not play any part in the 3-1 win against Burnley. Van der Beek was left on the bench. I thought Van der Beek was going to start against Burnley because obviously Bruno Fernandes was suspended. I'm hearing that Bayern Munich are interested in Van der Beek, but earlier on in the season, he said that Van der Beek won't be allowed to leave Man United in January as he's valued by Ralph Rangnick. He's not getting enough opportunities at Man United, and this is why I haven't had a great deal of a perception on him at Man United, but he is, in general, a good player. He's only managed to score 2 goals for the club, but that's terrible because he's been a Man United player for over a year and a half now. Man United got him in a deal worth, 40 million, so there you go. Reflect on what we paid for him. You'd expect him to be in the team week in, week out. He's got a contract with Man United till 2025. There's an option of a further year, and he's versatile. He can play in 3 different roles. Matic is another one who's leaving as well next year. Matic played alongside McTominay in midfield against Burnley. Didn't do too bad, Matic. I thought he protected the defence well, kept the ball well at times. I've always had my strong reservations about Matic because he's always been a static midfielder, plus he's, ageing up and that. But he has had his good games at United. Matic isn't one of our first choice midfielders, but he's still being given his chances, and I think he's the only predominant centre defensive mid Man United have got. Man United got Matic from Chelsea back in 2017 for 40 million. Pogba, if he leaves next year, he'll leave in the summer, will Pogba? Because the Manchester Evening News said the other week that Man United are not negotiating a Paul Pogba transfer next month. He said Man United expects Pogba to stay in January despite the midfielder nearing the end of his contract. His contract expires in the summer. Revert back to the start of this season, Pogba rejected a new Man United contract offer. And Phil Jones and Bailly will be leaving as well next year. Do you think Telles and Delors could leave next year? Well, Telles and Delors have appeared to be our first choice fullbacks under Rangnick. Obviously, Dalot and Tellez obviously didn't start against Burnley. It was Bissaka and Luke Shaw as the fullbacks. Shaw and Bissaka were our first choice fullbacks under Ollie. And of course, you know the news on Dean Henderson, don't you? Not so long ago, Rangnick told Dean Henderson that he cannot leave Man United on loan in January. Obviously, Dean Henderson wants regular game time. He's not getting enough chances at Man United. He's our second choice keeper because revert back to last summer, De Gea reclaimed the number one spot back. Henderson's only made 2 appearances this season, and earlier on in the season he was out with COVID for a while, but towards the end of last season Henderson got that number 1 jersey, and Henderson did well in a lot of the games he was in goal for last season. I've been hearing Tottenham have been interested in a summer move for Henderson, and Ajax are interested in a loan until the end of the season. Henderson's already got that experience behind him because he did enjoy 2 successful loans with Sheffield. He's also had other loan spells before with Grimsby, Stockport and Shrewsbury. Before the start of last season, was it, Henderson signed a new long-term contract with Man United until 2025. Henderson regrets signing that new long-term contract. So, there you go. And like I said on my last video, Manchester United need to take the captaincy off Harry Maguire. He's not a leader, Harry Maguire, at all. You know, Maguire has done nowhere near as well as a lot of Manchester United fans expected of him. I thought Maguire was far superior at Leicester than he has been at Man United. You know, Maguire was poor against Burnley recently. Like I said earlier on in the video, he was partly to blame for Burnley's goal because he backed off Aaron Lennon and gave him too much space to run into. Maguire was also poor against Newcastle last Monday night because, you know, he made a mistake early on in that game that could have been costly, and he misplaced quite a few passes. So I think we need to give the captaincy to either De Gea and Ronaldo because, you know, De Gea is doing really well this season, so too is Ronaldo. Harry Maguire was certainly not worth the 80 million that Manchester United paid for him. By the way, do you want some news on Woodward? Woodward is leaving Manchester United. Well, it said he's leaving Man United at the end of the year. Obviously, it is New Year's Eve now. It got announced back in April that Woodward's leaving Man United, obviously when that European Super League came into the equation. Ed Woodward's been one of the biggest problems at the club for so many years. Woodward's had a 16-year association with Man United. Richard Arnold is actually replacing Ed Woodward as the chief executive. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you with. I'll be on with more videos tomorrow. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel if you do consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.